going, everybody? Mr. Poestyle here with another Mr. Poestyle video. What else would it be? Mr. Poestyle isn't here with another Brian's Man Cave video or Atari Creep video. No, it's a Mr. Poestyle video. It's Halloween time. And I gotta admit, a lot of people get pissed about the Christmas season being talked about anytime before Halloween. I was a Christmas season kid, and the reason for that was because I knew when Christmas came, I was getting my Kenner Star Wars action figures. I was getting my Voltron action figures, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and then eventually, Atari 2600, eventually NES games. That was the thing for me. And, so I loved it. I did love Halloween too. But as soon as those Time Life Treasury of Music Christmas commercials came on back in the day, I was ready for Christmas. I was ready for the other holidays in between too. I loved to eat, loved Thanksgiving. I loved trick-or-treating with my friends. But Christmas was the thing for me back then, for sure, 100%. Those Time Life Treasury Christmas commercials came on probably in like August or September, because back then you had to wait 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. You didn't have your internet there to order stuff quickly. You didn't have Amazon Prime to get your records, your cassettes, your 8-tracks, your CDs within a day or two. But, I used to be hyped up for Christmas that whole time because I was going to get a new game. We didn't just get them willy-nilly. I had a paper out where I made like pretty much nothing that I could save up money for things. But Christmas was the thing. But Halloween was awesome. I have an older sister and 2 older brothers. We're all 2 years apart. So my sister is the oldest. She's 6 years older than me. And we would dress up for Halloween and we would go trick-or-treating. And our road was probably about, I don't even know, it was probably about 2 miles long. But we didn't live in town. We lived out from town. So it wasn't a well-lit road. The houses, you'd have a bunch and then nothing. We had a whole hillside that we walked, that there was no guardrail on the road. There was an old man and old lady that lived down there that were my paper route customers. Their name was the Hunters, Mr. and Mrs. Hunter. No guardrail on there, and it was a steep hill down over, just like into their yard. And then they had fields up over the other hill on the other side. No lighting whatsoever. And we would trick-or-treat. Sometimes we had flashlights, sometimes we didn't. It was, the 70s, the 80s. The parents just said, okay, here's your trick-or-treat bags. There's your costumes. Go trick-or-treating. And we did that and eventually added friends to the group. Eventually, kids got older. Back then, older, I'm saying, kids got to be 12 or 13. They were done trick-or-treating. Now kids are trick-or-treating until they're 26 years old. Now the kids are trick-or-treating at 30 years old with their 2-month-old baby saying the candy's for the baby. But that's a rant. We'll not get off on that. Halloween was a special time, and getting those costumes together, whether it be a mask that you bought in the package with the little tiny eye holes, Casper the Friendly Ghost, the Incredible Hulk we had. My brother had Planet of the Apes, and his little tiny holes cut that just sliced the whites out of your eyeballs, with a rubber band in the back that stuck in your hair. I wouldn't have that problem now. Rip the hair out of your head. At one point, one of my brothers was a werewolf, or at least he thought he was going to be, and he dyed cotton balls brown and tried to stick them to his face. And, before we even started, I think they all fell off of his face. Put on the makeup, the grease makeup to be Dracula, and then the crap was everywhere. But Halloween was awesome. And this time of year for Halloween, now we see things come out like the General Mills Monsters cereal. And that's really mainly what this video is about. General Mills Monsters cereal. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And a few other things that pop into mind. Like this time of year, Halloween specials were the greatest too. I've said before, I didn't have cable. I didn't have a billion channels. So when you had CBS back then, had Charlie Brown Halloween special on, and Garfield Garfield Halloween was just awesome, and I still have it on DVD. I've showed it to my kids for years because it was so great. They really needed to put that back on television because Garfield Halloween is great. And I know, I think the last 2 years they've put Charlie Brown's Great Pumpkin on PBS channels because I think Apple bought them. There was some controversy. People were mad. They didn't want to get Apple TV or whatever it's called just to watch Charlie Brown. And I missed it. It was on this past Sunday night on PBS, I think at 7:30. Back in the day, Eastern Standard Time, it used to be on at 8 o'clock. Originally CBS, eventually Charlie Brown moved to ABC, but it was always brought to you by McDonald's and York Peppermint Patty back in the day. And then Fat Albert's Halloween special is another favorite of mine. I loved that when I was a kid. I watched Fat Albert every Saturday. They had a Halloween and a Christmas special. The Halloween one is great. And I have that on DVD as well. We usually watch it. I haven't gotten around to it yet this year. But Halloween, awesome time of the year. And we're going to talk about the Monsters Breakfast cereal. Now, these were things that were out when I was a kid. It was out all year round, from what I remember, all year round. And from what I looked up, I don't think it started coming out just once a year until around 2010. And then they produce it, from 2010 until now, 2021. It comes out between September and October of each year, and then that's it. They're done. But they're on their 50th anniversary right now. So they have a special out called Monster Mash, where they're blending all of the stuff. And you can see all of the characters that they've had through the years on the box. I bought this box at my local chain grocery store, Giant Eagle, in the Pittsburgh area. I think they're also maybe in Maryland or New Jersey or Ohio, but Giant Eagle had this. And it's the smaller, it's the regular size box, and it's your mix and match. And then they have a Listen Now. There's your Q scan there if you want to scan it on my video to listen to the Monster Mash with Count Chocula and Boo Berry and Frankenberry and Fruit Brute and Fruity Yummy Mummy singing it on there for you. In the old days, you used to get cardboard records right on, sometimes in the box, sometimes on the box. You cut them out, you put them on your record player. That's what we did with some of these things, and you listen to them. And now they can just put a code on the back there. You scan and you can listen to the music. Or just look it up. I think my son did that. He looked it up and played it. And this is the Frankenberry box, the new Frankenberry box. This is the family size that my wife picked up, I think, from Walmart. So it's quite a bit bigger than the regular size. At least the box is. Probably inside, they're probably ripping you off. You're getting 2 more pieces of the not marshmallow crappier cereal. But when we were kids, these were great. And I'm talking about the 70s. My oldest brother loved Frankenberry. He said that was his favorite. My other older brother loved Count Chocula. He said that was his favorite. So by default, maybe, or maybe they told me that Boo Berry was my favorite. And maybe I just decided, hey, that's my favorite because I want to be different from these other guys. Or maybe I really did think it was the best. And I did have a newer box of Boo Berry set for this video. I took the bag of cereal out. Well, somebody threw the box away. I think my wife threw it away. It was laying in the garbage the other day. I'm like, I wanted that for my video. I went to pull it out. The one side was pristine, still perfect. The other side had spaghetti sauce on it. So I had a hand covered in spaghetti sauce from my Boo Berry box. So I threw it back away, washed my hand, and that was it. But like I said, these boxes have changed through the years. The characters changed a little in the commercials through the years. There's actually, if I remember, I will post it here. Somebody has a bunch of commercials from the Monster cereal on YouTube from the 70s through the 90s. I don't think there's anything newer than that and what they put together. But they used to be a year-round thing, if memory serves me. And, usually I just talk about retro games on here, but it's in the title. I'm supposed to talk about retro other stuff too, so that's what I'll do here for this video. The only other thing I've talked about besides video games before was the Presto Magics, but Almost nobody watched that video. I kind of expect the same out of this one. But yeah, the old ones had records. They had toys and things that came in the box, and now you get your Q code scan there. There were some records in the late 70s that came out for the Monster cereals. And we wanted these really bad come Halloween time at least. But all year round, they used to be on the shelf, and we wanted these things. And, you know, my sister liked the Fruit Brute, and that didn't last very long, Fruit Brute. That was in the 70s, and I think a few times they brought him back. But he was gone, I think, in the early 80s. And eventually, I think it was around 1988, from what I saw, Fruity Yummy Mummy came around. I don't think it was the same exact thing as Fruit Brute. It might have been. I remember the commercials. Fruity Mummy Yummy makes your tummy go yummy. I remember that being on all the time. I remember the commercials saying, "How about a monster for breakfast today?" But the characters in this, they used their voices to be like Bela Lugosi, you know. You had your Count Chocula that sounded like Dracula from the Universal movies, Bela Lugosi. Peter Lorre was what Boo Berry was supposed to sound like, the dude with the buggy eyes, and like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, and, you know, so, and Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's monster, you know, so that's what Frankenberry sounded like in the commercial. And in the commercials, they would try to tell you that theirs was better. People like their stuff better. You know, Count Chocula's better. No, Frankenberry's better, you know. And then something would scare them and they would run away. And those were the first two that came out 50 years ago. Frankenberry and Count Chocula. And then I think it was 1973, the year that I was born, that Boo Berry came out. Like I said, I don't have that box. It was covered in spaghetti sauce, so it went away with the garbage the other day. There's the code on the back there for the same thing, the Monster Mash. If you want to listen to it, scan it, look it up. It's them singing the Monster Mash. But really cool stuff from the 70s and 80s. That stuff was awesome, you know. And we don't do breakfast cereals that much. I think at some point this year, my son told my wife he wanted one of them, and she bought the Boo Berry one. So we had that, and then I saw this at the other store, and I knew this one was out, so I bought that. And the Boo Berry was gone, so she bought the Frankenberry the other day. So we had a monster for breakfast those days. And something else that came out, sorry about that, in the late 70s, early 80s were Monster Chunk cookies. Nothing related to this. But Monster Chunk cookies were like frosted little cookies in a box. And they had a bite out of them like a monster bit them. And we wanted those things so bad. A monster bit each of those friggin' cookies. Really, it was just a rip-off 3/4 of a cookie. But we wanted those things. If I can remember it, I'll put a picture up here of some of the boxes. Maybe you'll remember them. Maybe you do remember them. Maybe you don't. Maybe this will jog your memory. But Monster Bite cookies, we thought that was pretty awesome too. So what do you remember from the 70s, the 80s? Maybe you're not old geezer like me. I'm 48. I'm remembering this old stuff, and it means something to me. Is there something cool that you remember about this time of year, or a certain product that came out that you hold near and dear to your heart? These things were pretty cool. I'm glad they still come around once a year. You know, they didn't get rid of them totally. But they're out there if you look, and I know Walmart carries a lot of it. Like I said, the bigger family size. And the Monster Mash is out there. And I'm pretty sure my sister-in-law said she bought the Monster Mash from Walmart for her kids. And there's all the characters. There is Fruit Brute, Fruity Yummy Mommy, makes your tummy go yummy. Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and Count Chocula. And just real quick, I do want to give a shout out to somebody that's helped me out and somebody that has great videos out there, and that's DKOG73. He's given me a shout out a couple times. He's actually reached out to me in Messenger on Facebook beforehand. You know, he checked out some of my videos, and he does a lot of great videos. He's actually way more high end than me. He has better videos and more current stuff, etc., etc. But he's been nothing but great to me, and he's given me a shout out, and I've definitely gotten more subscribers since he's done that. And the last couple videos that he's done are really cool videos where he's taken a 1-up arcade Pac-Man machine and he's modded it into a 63-in-1 arcade cabinet. And he shows you step by step exactly how to do that. And he's an Xbox player. I'm a PS4 player. I'm not even a PS5 player yet. I gave up last year at this time when I couldn't get one. I haven't tried again since. We'll get to that eventually. But, yeah, really cool stuff. DKOG73, please go and check out his channel if you're into that kind of thing, which you should be. The modding of those, I'd love to do that one day. Just really good stuff. And his other videos are great too, just playing other games, great games. Really cool guy too, down to earth, and greatest guy that seems like he'll do anything for you. And while I'm at it, I want to say goodbye to the channel BMK Retro Gaming, and I'm really sorry that channel is now defunct. Brian, I watched your videos every time you uploaded them. You uploaded them in the morning. I would watch them every night before I went to bed. I hope everything goes well for you. I wish your channel was still there, but we started around the same time. I just felt like we were bros coming up together. So, really sad to see your channel go. And I think that's about it for this video. I ramble on. That's what I do. Ramble on, ramble on. If you're looking for a few other people to check out, of course, and as always and as usual, some of my favorites are Brian's Man Cave, the Atari Creep, Willie from Arcade USA, and Phil the No Swear Gamer. Awesome guys. And a few others I'll mention in another video coming up. Don't want to load it all on you right here. But what are your memories of Halloween from your childhood? Did you grow up in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s? What were your favorite Halloween specials? What were your favorite monster-type products? Did you love these? Do you remember the Monster Chomp cookies? They were pretty slick. I don't think they make those anymore. Actually, they probably haven't made those for a long time. I'm not sure. I shouldn't be eating that kind of stuff anyway. Actually, I don't usually eat cereal either, but my wife started it. She brought home Boo-Berry, so there you go. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I've gotten 101 subscribers now, and to me, that's amazing. I really do appreciate all of you. I never expected to get over 100 subscribers, so it's beyond belief to me. You know, I stuck for a while at the 50s. Up and down, this many, then go back down. Did the same thing in the 70s and then the 80s, and then all of a sudden, boom, it said I had 100 and then 101 like a day later, so very surprising to me. But we'll get around to some more gameplay videos, and we're going to be doing a Game Boy Color backlit screen mod with a touch control for brightness here coming up soon. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next video, hopefully. Appreciate y'all. Oh, Nacho. Come here, Nacho. No biting. No bite. Ooh, no biting. Oh, Nacho, stop.